What's up, believers? Eve Torres here. I'm going to give you one guess as to where I am right now. And the clue is this lovely painting above me. This lovely picture. And maybe the print of this couch, too. Could be a clue. That's right, you guessed it. I'm in England. I'm in the UK, which means I am on the European tour for Raw. It's a 2-week tour, and it obviously consists of a lot of bus rides and a lot of flights and a lot of travel, but I decided to take some time out of my tour to answer some of the Ask Eve questions that have been sent to me on Twitter. So, here we go. The first one is from @LanaBears, and her real name is Lana Selnick. And her question is, do you ever get scared or nervous when you perform your moonsaults? Well, Lana, actually no, I don't. I guess scared or nervous isn't quite the word because, you know, when I'm up there, it's kind of at the point where you have to do whatever you have to do to win. So you don't really have time to be nervous or scared. You just have to do it. You just have to go for it, do whatever it takes. But that being said, you know, I was a gymnast growing up, so that may have helped me overcome some of those fears. But when I was a gymnast, I also remember having mental blocks and having times where I really was scared or nervous to go for a new move or something that was, you know, intimidating physically for me. So, so I do know what it feels like to have that. But the moonsault is not one of them, especially when there's like a title or a match on the line. So, thanks for the question. The next one is from @EveK2FansCom, and it's EveK2Fans blogspot. And their question is, where do you see yourself 20 years from now? Well, you know, I try not to focus too much on like a certain year plan, because so many times, you know, opportunities come or doors open that you don't really expect, and I feel like if you're too stuck to one path, then you may not end up really where you're meant to be. And I look at that way with my career now. If you would have told me 10 years from now that I'd be in Europe fighting for the Divas Championship against Beth Phoenix, I mean, I wouldn't have believed you. It just didn't seem like that was, you know, possible for me at the time. But here I am. So, again, it's like, you know, when you think about certain year plans, I think you should have kind of a general idea, but always be willing to make changes. But for me, 20-year plan, I would have to say it would involve, kind of a big one, it would involve a family. It would involve hopefully a successful business, and really me just calling the shots, I think. So, you know, a family life, living a healthy lifestyle, and a lot of shopping. I think that's a good plan. Yeah, so the next question is from iHeartAndyBVB, and her real name is Danielle. And her question is, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? Any superpower? This is a tough one, but you know, it's kind of a weird answer, but I think I would have like a photographic memory, like to be able to recall or remember anything that has ever happened, whether it's like facts or people or names or information. I just think that would be really cool. Partly because I think I have a really bad memory now, so I think that's why I'd want that especially. But I think that would be, yeah, I think you can make a lot of friends that way, and probably a lot of enemies too, actually. But, you know, it's like, for a living, I get to fight evil and kick butt, so what more could you want, really? It's pretty cool. Next question is from @Ian Bacayo, or Ian Bacallo, depending on whether he's Italian or Spanish. And the question is, have you ever had any life-changing experiences? I've had many, actually, but I think the two that come to mind, obviously one was winning the Diva Search, completely changed my life and my career and pretty much everything about my lifestyle, for the better, obviously. And aside from that, I think looking back on a life-changing experience for me, probably one would have been, which obviously was negative at the time, but ended up being overall, you know, a positive experience, I think. But when my mom was diagnosed with cancer, and I was growing up, and I was much younger, about 10 at the time, and she was diagnosed with oral cancer. And so it was one of those times where you learn at a very young age what, how important family is and how important it is to maintain, positive relationships. And, just seeing my mom really fight through that, just, for her family and to be there for us was very impactful and very meaningful for me. So it was a very difficult time, but, I think I learned a lot about what we really need to value in life and what's important. So that's probably one of them I would consider a life-changing experience. The next question is, come on, here we go, is from @Phenomena Laura X, and her real name is Laura Stiles. And her question is, if you could star on one TV show, what would it be? Well, aside from Monday Night Raw, it would be, I've always been fascinated with like detective shows or mystery. And I actually, when I was younger, wanted to be an FBI agent. I loved the X-Files. That was one of my favorite shows growing up. And I always wanted to be an FBI agent. Obviously, I decided not to go with that career path. But, probably even cooler than that is like playing one on TV, like playing an FBI or a detective. So I think any of like the CSIs or, Law and Order or something like that. I would love to be a detective on one of those shows. So look out for me. So I think that's all the questions we're going to answer from Newcastle, England. I will try to get one more blog while I'm over here in the UK and try to get that out to you. But thank you guys so much. If you have any other questions, send them #AskEve to my Twitter account, which is @EveMarieTorres, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you guys.